So I was looking for a job. It was probably sometime in November, and it was cold. I remember going to Chick-fil-A and trying to fill out an application. It was 12 o'clock traffic. I didn't think about it, so I asked the manager for a pen, and he was rude to me, so I got really upset and discouraged, and I left. And I was walking down the road, down Walton, back towards my house. I threw away the application. I started crying. I felt hopeless. Felt like every time I tried to do something, I just got shoved back down, like I could never get my head above water. And so I turned down one of the streets by my road, and a lady stopped in the middle of the road and said, "Hey, do you need a ride?" I said, "No, I'm okay." She goes, "You don't look like you're okay. Come on, get in. I'm not going to bite." So I got in the car, and she took me home, and we talked. She introduced me to another woman that gave me a couple jobs to clean houses. I remember telling her that I didn't know what God wanted from me, that I felt like every time I tried to do something right, I just couldn't do it. And then she responded by telling me that God had told her to come and get me off the side of the road, to pick me up and offer me a ride. Before that, I felt really just abandoned, helpless, like I just couldn't do anything right. And it was confirmation that God was listening to what I was saying to him. I was praying, and he was not avoiding me. I just wasn't getting the answer when I wanted it. I wanted it now. But, he did it in his time, and it was perfect.
To see him work through a series of events. My oldest is still down in Austin, caught in serious drug addiction. And I have a flight for a business meeting to go to Austin. And Cody calls me Sunday night before I leave Monday morning. He's crying. He calls me and says that he had been woken up, doesn't know by what, but after about a 3-day drug binge, wakes up and decides it's a good idea to walk 2 miles to the old church that we went to, that he was in the youth program, and he does. Sits down in the back row of the church, and the guy next to him, obviously led by the Holy Spirit, realizes there's something wrong here. In typical Baptist church, they do the meet and greet, and shake hands, and meet new people. And my son tells me, this guy won't let go of my hand. Just started really looking into his eye and talking with him, and next thing you know, Cody's breaking down and crying and telling him he needs help. He's in a bad place. He cannot get out of what he's gotten himself into. And lo and behold, the gentleman who used to be the youth pastor there had started a ministry for young men that were caught in addiction. And he had a real passion for helping these guys, and they had 12 beds there at a time, usually full, usually have to wait 6 months plus to get in. Well, you know how the Lord works. There happened to be one bed open. So Cody's calling me, and he's actually excited about going through this Christian character building program. And amazingly enough, I have a plane ticket to fly out there the next morning.
The one and only time that I feel that God spoke to me, it was kind of random. I was in rehab, Decision Point Rehab, and I went back to my room after a group, and in my mind I heard KLRC, the radio station. So I said, "Okay, God, all right, if that's what you're going to tell me." So I turned it on, and it was Amazing Grace. And I was like, okay, cool, I like this song. So I started singing it, and a girl stopped in front of my door while I was singing, and I just kept singing. And then she walked up to me, started crying, and held me. So I just held her back, and kept singing to her until the song was over. And she let me know after the song was over, that's the song they played for her mother's funeral. And before me and her had that conversation, she had said things like, well, I don't know if God's real, or I don't know if he cares about me. And after that song, it seemed that God knew what it was going to take, because she started going to church. She started talking about God in positive ways. And I have her on my Facebook now, and she still talks about God all the time. And I feel like he knew what it was going to take for her to look towards him.